Oh, Bowser's back. Welcome back, Bowser. Golden Axe. My kids were playing this and the other PAL games all day on 2600. Again, it's good to hear. I like to hear that kids are appreciating the classics these days. And Crunch says, exactly. Or try to get the craps and die, or drown in a river and kill everyone. Yeah, we really did not play the way you're supposed to play Oregon Trail. We purposefully screwed around on that game quite a bit. I believe if you go to archive.org, Oregon Trail is available as MS-DOS emulation, and you can play it on your browser. Just about any computer should be able to play Oregon Trail via archive.org emulation. I don't know the exact name of the MS-DOS archive, but I'm sure if you go to archive.org and type in DOS or MS-DOS games, it wouldn't be hard to find. Because they made a version of Oregon Trail for just about everything, not just the Apple II that Chris and I played it on. Alright, let's clear this wave. Bonus. Bonus level 20. I guess the bonus level is just everything that's on the screen with you. And I just got rid of everything on the screen, so that's my bonus. Now let's get rid of some of these cubes. I feel like I'm actually doing better this time than the first time, although that may just be my perception of things. It's not quite asteroids in the way that I think of it, so kind of have to adjust my expectations of how to control, how to shoot at things, because if I'm just waiting for them to break apart like the rocks and asteroids do, it doesn't quite work out for me. Plus, there's these little things that chase you around. That's no bueno. You can't just sit around and shoot rocks. You actually have to avoid the objects that are trying to hunt you down. A little thrust here and there, and you can generally stay out of harm's way. It takes a little bit of foresight, a little bit of strategy. And you got these suckers that shoot at you, and I was trying to thrust to get out of the way and ran right into the bullet. Not the best move I've made. Oh, those two were crisscrossing their shots back and forth. That's kind of cool, actually. I dig the creativity of those enemies. Even though I don't know how to deal with them, it was certainly interesting to watch them. Yeah, I don't know what way you can beat them. Oh, fireworks. I guess that's because I got a high score, so hooray for me. Enter my initials. There we go. I'm on the high scoreboard. And I got a trophy for that. Dizzying Heights. You probably couldn't see that on the stream because it tends to blur out the trophies, so sorry about that, but rest assured I did get a trophy. Bowser says I should do another stream but with Facecam. Don't know how to do that with PS4. Do I have to buy a separate camera and plug it in? Very nice. You should have lots of subscribers. Well, thanks, Bowser. I appreciate that. And yes, Chris confirms that Oregon Trail is in the MS-DOS archive. Oh, and I just got another trophy, Dead Weight. I wonder if that's because I'm sitting here on the demo mode because I'm not playing. It's chiding me for not putting in a quarter, but hey, I got a trophy for that, so why not? I'll take it. 8-Bit Council is here and watching. What's up, 8-Bit? And 8-Bit says, are the controls good? I heard they were not that good for some games. It's decent on a few of them. Warlords, I think I could probably get into that if I spent a little more time with it, but it was a little hard to control at first. It's not too bad on Space Duel. It's pretty good on Millipede. That one I can't complain about. I had the most fun so far out of all of them with Millipede. Alright, let me get out of this and get back to the menu. try another game and we'll see how the controls handle on that. What to play next? How about Lunar Lander? Chris ought to remember this one because we played this one on Commodore 20 and VIC-20 and Commodore 64. We spent some time with that. Bowser says you need to buy another camera and plug it in with the PS4. I think so. So maybe at some point I'll do that. Okay. This picture leaves a little something to be desired because it's like very hard to see my lander and I keep thrusting up without meaning to. Man. I'm getting farther away from landing. This does not help. I can't use the dialogue sticks. Those don't do anything. Oh, man. How do I just keep going higher. I don't want to do that. This one is actually easier to control on the PSP. Come on, can I descend, please? Alright, now I think just by not hitting any buttons, I'm actually drifting downward a little bit. That's the dumbest way to control anything ever. Do nothing and you fall. But that is kind of what Lunar Lander is all about. I'm up for streaming some two-player Joust if you have it. Is that available in the PlayStation Store? You tell me, and if it is, then we'll get a little game of Joust going. Man, I can't vary the thrust, and when I hit it, it's all or nothing. At least on the PSP version, you can just kind of tap your thrust, but in this one, when you hit the thrust button, it just lets out one long, continuous burst of fuel burning. Some games hard for you? Yeah. Some games yes, some games no. Depends on the game, really. Like Pac-Man Championship Edition 2, I've got A rank on almost all of the different modes and S rank on a couple, so... Oh, crap. See, this is what I mean about it burning fuel. Now I'm getting a warning that I'm low on fuel. And yes, that beeping is probably as annoying to you as it is to me, so sorry about that. I don't know, we'll see my next time out there. Yeah, now I'm out of fuel, so I'm just gonna crash. But at least we don't have to hear the beeping anymore. So I'm thinking this one goes on my list of not favorite to control games. I'm going to try one of the others and see if it controls a little bit better than that. 8-Bit Council says, if I were to maybe buy this game, I would probably play Adventure more than anything else. You know, Adventure might be fun, but I don't think I'm going to stream that right now because I don't remember all the patterns and I'd have to get out a FAQ and look it up. Yeah, somebody probably wrote a FAQ for a 30-plus-year-old game. I would want to get the Easter egg with the designer's name in it, Warren Robinette, I believe. I would want to get the dragon and the key in the right order and do all of that stuff, but I'm just going to stick to arcade games for now, like Tempest. And Bowser says, me too, I like adventure games too. Well, then you'll really like this because the adventure game in this compilation is called Adventure. It's an adventure game called Adventure. All right. I'm not going to be smug and go for one of the higher waves. I'm just going to play the basic Tempest wave. Now, for those who've never seen Tempest before, what you want to do is not let those things get to the edge, because once they get to the edge, they can drag you down into the middle. And once you clear them all, you warp through space to the next one. Like so. There are some extra weapons and there are some new types of enemies that you will see over time. And some of the creatures in the middle regenerate over time. As you can see, each one has a different concentric or geometric pattern. Now there's one of the new types of enemies that actually builds a web out from the center towards you, and if it gets all the way to the edge, it can impede your movement. Oh, avoid spikes. That's another thing. When you warp, you can crash right into those lines that it builds out, and you don't want to crash into those lines. So it's helpful to shoot the lines down when you see them. Oh yeah, and those purple ones contain two of the enemies that crawl towards you, so you don't want that either. You want to shoot those purple ones as early as you can before they get to the edge and split off, because then it's really hard to get them once they're all the way to the edge, like so. And I think that was my last life. But I did get a high score, so let's go ahead and enter that here. And then I'll catch up on the chat again. And I got another trophy. Fear the claw or something. I couldn't quite read it in time. I was looking at the chat. What's Tempest? It's an arcade game. Like everything else on here, it's an arcade game. You're not asking too many questions. It's cool. 8-Bit Council. My chances are looking pretty high for buying this game. Well, I unintentionally became a salesperson for Atari Classics Volume 1. It's only $20 at your local store. Go look for it at Target, Best Buy, wherever video games are sold. Toys R Us, they probably have it as well. 8-Bit Council has to go for now. Might be back later. Cool. All right, 8-Bit. We'll catch you on the flip side then. Chris, does it retain the high scores when you leave and come back? Let's find out. I'll go back to the menu. I'll select Tempest again. Well, that just put me right back where I was at selecting a game. Let's reset it. Yeah, it looks like it kept my high score right there at the top. So I would say that's a yes. So I reset it and my score was still there. I left the game and it was still there. Now, the one way we can definitively prove that is start a new game, then go back to the previous game. So here's Centipede. We'll quit out of that. I'll go back to Tempest. Yeah, my high score is still there, so it retains it no matter what. Speaking of Centipede, let's do that. Everybody already saw me playing Millipede. Now we're going to go back to the game that started it all. The original Franticness. Some of the same enemies and others that are not there. In some respects easier, and in some respects you can't take it for granted. It doesn't have as many different types of enemies to deal with, but it still has plenty of things to distract you going on above when you shouldn't be distracted, and you still want to clear the Centipede as it comes down the screen towards you. So you still have to be on your toes no matter which you're playing, the original or the sequel. Oh boy. I'm in some trouble now. There's no way I was getting around that. Yeah, no DDT to bail you out in this version. But also, not the stupid fleas that crawl along the bottom of the screen and leap up into you. So, in some ways, it's better. And in some ways, it's not. Yo! The spiders really jump out at you fast in this one. Bowser is back. Cool. Golden Axe. Wearing Centipede shirts. Sexy. Well, I suppose so. If you like women wearing Centipede shirts and she's wearing a Centipede shirt and that's sexy, then yeah. Or if you are a woman watching and you like guys wearing Centipede shirts, then whatever. I guess whatever works for you. And I believe Mrs. Mega Man Fan is walking in as I'm streaming. What's up, dear? Do I need to pause? Okay. Sorry, guys. I'll be back on the stream in 1 second.